So yeah, that was, oh no, just one time, that's enough. So yeah, we got a song this time. I put it on the external speaker so we could actually make sure and hear it. And so as I'm going through Spotify, trying to find Starlight Vocal Band's version of Afternoon Delight, I realize it's not on Spotify. So like the Beatles finally went to Spotify. Pink Floyd gets onto Spotify. But Starlight Vocal Band, man, no, they got to stick with their principles. They're not on Spotify, there's actually an acoustic version with somebody else too, but it wasn't the original. So it's like, okay, if I'm not going to do the original version of that song, I am going to take the Anchorman version of that song. And that's right, that's Will Ferrell and the rest of them doing Afternoon Delight, because here we are, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. We are doing a very special run of the second round of the playoffs so that Yanez can watch the stream as well. I am also recording it for those who want to watch it later or can't watch it now. I think Kyle with the Hawks can't watch it now. That's fine. That's what we do here. So, okay, there we go. As you can see, we have another excellent second round ahead of us. Last night was ridiculous, and we had 3 series go to 7 games. I think we had one that was a sweep, but everything else, there was just a lot of games. Because I was doing this for like almost an hour last night. And I just noticed in the corner here, hi Adam. There we go, got that out of the way. So, okay, so let's get this done. I got things to do today. Number 1, Timberwolves against the number 5 Rockets. I guess the Rockets also swept the Kings. There were a couple of sweeps, but still, there were a lot of games yesterday. Number 2, Thunders against the number 3 Grizzlies. Number 1, Bulls. Number 5, Pistons. And number 2, Wizards against the number 3 Heat. So, I don't know. I think everybody assumed that the Bulls were going to sweep the Raptors like they've been sweeping the entire Eastern Conference for the last 4 seasons, but hard to know if that was just excellent game planning on Marco's side, or if maybe the Bulls are somehow weaker with Lavro. Excuse me. So, wouldn't that be interesting? So, okay, coming on over the schedule, and let's just sim the day, see what happens. Oh, look at that. Home and away teams split it 2 games each. So the Timberwolves, they beat the Rockets 103-79 in Minnesota. Let's see what happened here. There we go. And sliding on down, Michael Foster, he's been wasn't he the leading scorer so far in the playoffs? He's just had a fantastic playoffs. In only 27 minutes of play, and it must have been because it was a blowout because he only had 1 foul. He had 27 points, so that's efficient basketball. 20 points for Horse Pucky, 15 for Jimmy Miller off the bench. Dwayne Pulley off the bench had 12 to go along with that. Sheldon Day only 4 points, but again, as you can see, the starters didn't have to play a whole lot of minutes because they were winning. Now, Luba Ostrich, 6 points, 12 rebounds, just 1 block. He had the most, he was averaging the highest minutes in the first round, which is pretty extraordinary. That's all I got to say about that, I guess. Coming on up here, you've got Mo Bamba had 15, but only 4 rebounds, but 3 blocks. 16 for Bags, going with 11 rebounds and 6 assists. 12 for Kaminsky on a underperforming night. Snyder is now off the bench, and 11 points there. Interesting, seeing the Rockets moving things around. That apparently did not help them at all, because that's some bad basketball. 38.5% shooting. The Grizzlies take Game 1 in Oklahoma City, 134-120. My goodness. Look at that. JJ in 38 minutes. He decided to play a while, but of course he fouled out in 38 minutes. But still, 35 points out of him. 30 points, 13 rebounds for Frankie Lenz. 17, 4 rebounds, 8 assists for Coward, 10 and 12 and 5 for Bucky with 3 blocks as well. That's a stat stuffing line right there. 14 for Ronald Roach, and Henchman, he had 12 points. So everybody was helping out there. Only one player did not have double digits, and that was Rob Rod. In 6 minutes, he had 2 points. Freddie Moore, he had 14 points off the bench. So that's some serious basketball. You know, there's DeAndre DeAndre Ayton at D center position. 32 points, 17 boards, 2 blocks. That's where he belongs. But it didn't help him this time. That's concerning for the Oklahoma City side of things. 27 and 11 for Jack Kimes. 15 points for Maynard Camarillo at point guard. Interesting, because Rosie was at small forward. He was only 2 for 11, including 0 for 5 from 3. He was a non-factor, only 6 points. And Reggie Wilson, 25 points, a small forward off the bench, 8 points. You want more out of him than that. I mean, he was more or less the number 2 scorer for the Thunder for last round, so weird. Well, there you go, painful. 49-point win, 119-70. Yanez, I'm sorry, man. That's, yeah, you got to watch this live, and this is live suffering. 36 points for Shen Guo. He was back at the point guard position for a second series in a row. Only 3 rebounds and 4 assists. 25 for Bursa, 15 for 16 from the line. 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Excellent stat line there. 13 for Luther and 9 boards. 12 for Blakesley in a quieter game for him. And Matisse starting a small forward, 7 points in 23 minutes of play. A little bit of effort off the bench. Chu had 13. J Jackson, I'm just going to call him that because he doesn't deserve it. 10 points in 25 minutes off the bench. Well, that's the Pistons. Bart Smith, quiet, 12 points, 10 boards. Dickie Bender, 14 points in 32 minutes. Blake Landry only played 5 minutes and had 4 fouls in those 5 minutes, so that's efficient, but not in the way you'd want him to be. Dusty Frederick, 10 points on 4 for 17 shooting off the bench, and that's not pretty basketball. The Heat take one from the Wizards in D.C., 124-112. That's a surprise, but still, these are strong teams all across the board. 31 points for Loomis. He showed up. 28 points for Drayson Baker, go along with 9 rebounds, 8 assists. 24 points for Nico at the power forward position. Interesting. But work for him. 24 and 15, solid. 16 points for Rolo. Oh, for crying out loud. Why is my phone beeping like crazy? Oh, I think it's because it's like daytime. There you go. So that's turned off. Otherwise, solid game out of the Heat. Now, Wizards. Love Lady. I mean, he did what you needed him to do. 26 points, 8 boards, 11 assists, and a block and a steal. 28 for Stavros. Toby Bowman just has not been showing up in the playoffs so far. 5 for 18 from the field, 3 for 10 for 3. Only 14 points there. David Miller had more points at 15 and a better shooting game in only 20 minutes, so almost half the time. No action off the bench whatsoever. Claude Garza in 33 minutes had 4 points. Miroslav in 23 had 8. So that's brutal. Okay, well, let's do day 2. Here we go. Oh, look at that. We've got home teams. So the Heat are up. Wow, okay. This is interesting. So here's an overtime game. Rockets taking the Timberwolves in Minnesota, 116-110. This is a group effort, 28 points for Kaminsky, 10 boards, 7 assists. He took that last game personally, and that's how he should have been. 26 for Baggs with 8 rebounds, 12 for Touchy-Feeney in a quieter effort out of him. Logan Anderson, in 49 minutes, had 18 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, and a block. Mo Bamba, he had 11 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 blocks. Almost a triple-double the hard way. Snyder had 10 off the bench, and that was solid. There's the problem right there. Look at that. 35 points for Horse Pucky, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. Solid game out of him, of course. 27 for Sheldon Day. That's an awesome game out of him. You wouldn't expect it, but there he is. 16, Michael Foster. He had a rough game. 5 turnovers, 16 points in 48 minutes. Obviously need a lot more out of him than that. Harry Hoover decided he didn't want to put ball in hoop. He was 0 for 7 for a total of 0 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. 8 points, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks for Luba. He did a nice job for what you need out of him. But yeah, Jimmy Miller off the bench, 15 minutes in overtime. I mean, 15 minutes in an overtime game out of Jimmy Miller, he need more than that. 7 points. Pauly, 9 points in 16 minutes. Those are some tired boys playing basketball. So there's that. Don't really need to take a look at that as far as the 116-110 play-by-play can be skipped for another time. Thunder taking one back in OKC, 111-101 over the Grizzlies. DeAndre Ayton had a uncharacteristically quiet game, 23 points, 6 boards, and a block. But look who was filling the stat sheet. Reggie Wilson, 15 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Did he get? Yep, he did. Off the bench, he got himself player of the game. 27 for Jack Kimes, go along with 9 rebounds and a bunch of other cool stats. L. Rod Hubbard had 18 and 9 boards, 13 for Rosie. Should not be playing small forward. I think he only should be playing point guard. He's not doing well. 10 for Max Bliss, and yeah, nice. Come on up here. There's JJ in 41 minutes, 32 points. I think he understands the importance of him staying on the court for this second round matchup. 18 points for Chris Coward with 8 boards, 11 boards, 14 points for Bucky with 6 block shots. Nice game out of him. 13 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and an excellent effort out of Frankie Lenz, but just not enough. Henshaw's only had 6 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He was plus 5, though, so maybe it wasn't him. 13 for Freddie Moore. Rob Rod in 6 minutes had 0 points, and he's already looking off to free agency. He's checked out. 6 points for Roach. 5 points for Roach. That's all. That's it. Wasn't enough. Bulls, 21 points this time, so that's not as bad, but still, that's the same result. So looking at the Bulls side of things, 29 points, 9 assists, 4 steals for Xuan Guo. 18 for Chu off the bench. Jay Jackson, 17 off the bench. 15 for Lavro as a starter. You know what I think. There's everybody else chipped in. So, a little better. Bart Smith, 28 points, 15 boards, and 4 blocks. That is a man's game right there. Kirk Hubbard had 22 and not much else. And the rest of the team really did not much else either. So, unfortunate. Bulls up 2-0. Heat won both games in D.C. Dang. Brian's not going to handle this one well. Nico, he had 27 points and 6 boards. Triple-double out of Grayson Baker, 22, 12, and 12. He better have been player of the game. 18 for Andrew Loomis. 18 for Andrew Loomis. 10 Brendan Garcia. 12 Rolo Smoke. Didn't say that name much lately. He's off to free agency too, and he's checked out. 30 for Lovelady in the loss. 24 for Stavros to go along with 17 boards, 8 assists. That is a man's game. Nico got the player of the game. Huh, okay, well, fine. 18 for Toby Bowman and 7 for 21 shooting effort. Effort's a good word for it. 14 for Claude Garza off the bench, and Miller didn't do much, and Pickles, 7 points, 8 boards, 3 blocks. He's not doing much either. So, let's change home teams. Let's see what happens. So, Wizards beat the Heat in Miami, whatever. Rockets 100-81. They take a 2-1 lead over the Timberwolves. The leading guys down here, 26 points for Kaminsky, along with 13 rebounds and 7 assists, a block and a steal. He was player of the game. 23 Marvin Bagley with 8 boards. He got 15 from Obama, 13 rebounds and 8 block shots. You have an inside-focused team and one of the best shot blockers in the league. That's kind of what's going to happen. Otherwise, Touchy-Fini only had 10 in 20 minutes and 13 for Snyder off the bench. That was enough because that's all that the Timberwolves did. 20 points from Michael Foster. He led all scorers on the Wolves. However, that's not saying much because Gervasio Guillen, had 14 and 15 minutes off the bench. And Sheldon Day, after that big game, he only had 10 points in 23 minutes. But it looks like they just kind of shut down the starters and gave the bench some play, and that didn't help either. Aldrich, he had 4 points, 12 rebounds, and a couple block shots, but that's not strong effort at all. 17 for 25 from the line, 68%. No bueno. Grizzlies, they're up 2-1 on the Thunder. That's right. 32 points for Chris Coward, and it's not too much of a surprise. I think we've been seeing that the Thunder have been having a hard time with teams in the first and second rounds, which is obviously should be very concerning for Thor. 30 points for JJ, including 13 for 15 from the line. Solid effort, of course. 22 for Frankie Lenz, going along with 9 boards, and not much else. 13 for Bucky, going with 8 rebounds and a block. And that's the extent of it. You had 4 guys doing well, and the bench just kind of benched. 20 points each for DeAndre Ayton and Jack Kimes, but Jack had the better game with 13 boards and 2 assists. DeAndre, he had 6 rebounds and a block. I mean, he's your star player. You need more out of him. Duh. Max Bliss in 16 minutes had 14 points. Nobody will take him for free. That's crazy. I don't have room for him, but anyway. Matt Roseman, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks, 4 steals and a block, and better effort out of him, but still, obviously, shouldn't be playing that position. Maynard Camarillo, 11 points and 4 rebounds, 5 assists in the point guard position. Elrod Hubbard, 12 points and a quiet night. So, Grizzlies go up 2-1 there. Pistons taking one in Detroit against the Bulls, 116-111. Pistons woke up. Actually, Bart Smith, he did what he does. 19 points, 17 boards, 5 assists, and 4 blocks. That's a solid game. Kirk Hubbard finally had a game. 23 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 block shots. 23 also for Blake Landry, who finally showed up but had a horrific shooting night. 6 for 19. That's not pretty, but he got points, I guess. 12 for Okogie. Kind of want more out of him, but yeah, they got to win. 13 for Wilbur Nichols. Well done. 39 points for Schwinn Guo. That's what he does in the playoffs. That's what he does in the regular season. That's what he does in the preseason. That's what he does all the damn time. 17 for Luther Miller, along with 9 boards, 5 assists, and 7 block shots. 17 also for Blakesley. 12 for Bursa, and 6 for 17 shooting effort. Sure glad the Bulls have him. 9 points for Thibault. Is it Thibault? Thibault? I don't know. I don't care. Here we go. I know I'm supposed to care, but I don't. Pistons taking game 3. Wizards, they finally took one. 113-105 in Miami. Got 28 each for Toby Bowman and Tommy Lovelady. Bowman also had 10 rebounds, so he finally shows up to the playoffs. Let's see if he sticks around. 22 for Garza off the bench. Stavros had 20 and 11. Pickles had 4, 10, and 2 blocks. But it was enough. 26, Roll of Smoke. Hey, he heard my criticisms last time. So he did well there. 8 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block. That's a solid effort out of him. 20 for Batias off the bench. He still lights it up once in a while. 16 for Loomis. Baker had 13 and 10 assists. 16 also for Nico with 7 boards and 4 block shots. Not quite enough. Excuse me. Flum. Game 4. Here we go. Well, we got 3-1 leads going here. Rockets are up 3-1 over the Wolves. 91-85 in a barn burner. He had 20 points for Logan Anderson. Did not expect that. Baggs had 14 and 8. Touchy Feeney had 14. And Tracy Kaminsky in a quiet night. Very quiet night. Only 6 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. But you need more points out of him. Jeffrey White, where the heck he is. He had 17 points, though. And Mo Bamba, he did well. 14 points, 13 boards, 2 steals, and 5 block shots. Sliding on up. That's what happened to the Wolves. Michael Foster, again, not doing well against Baggs. 19 points for him. That's it. 18 for Horse Pucky. You got 12 for Jimmy Miller off the bench. Pauly did nothing off the bench. Luba, he had 10 points, 21 boards, and a block. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Floby had a 1 for 7 shooting night for 8 boards and 2 points. Ouch. Ouch. Is this how the Wolves go out this year? This is not what I expected. Grizzlies are up 3-1 on the Thunder. There you go. 30 points for Chris Coward. Going on with 8 boards and 5 assists and 7 block shots. And real close to that, Bucky had 14 points, 16 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 5 blocks. Solid game out of him, but Coward got the player of the game. JJ had 25 points, 0 for 4 from 3. Dude, that's not your spot. But, yeah, 25 is 25. 18 points for Hench. Solid. Didn't expect that. 17, 10, and 8 for Frankie Lenz. Nice team ball. Rod, 8 minutes, 0 points. 22 for Elrod Hubbard. I did not expect that, obviously, because, well, I mean, he's had decent games at Power 4, but he doesn't really belong there, but Aiton's supposed to be your guy. 9 for 36 for DeAndre, by the way. 21 points, 11 offensive boards for a total of 17 boards, 2 blocks, 5 steals, 5 assists and a steal. 22 for Maynard Camarillo. That little guy's still lighting it up, but he was also minus 13. Speaking of minus, you have Jack Kimes at only 13 points. He was a minus 16. That's not pretty. Roseman, 17 points, 10 assists. Well, that's helpful, but not enough. So the Grizzlies are up 3 games to 1. Can they hold them off? Bulls, 103-93. 10-point win in Detroit. So Xuan Guo doing what he does, 30 points, and really, I mean, yeah, 4 steals, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. That's decent, but not what he normally does on that end of it. 28, Bursa finally did something. Solid. 14 for Luther Miller, 13 boards, and 4 block shots. 15 for Blakesley. Sorry, frog. 26 points, Kirk Hubbard. He led the scorers on the Pistons side of things. 22 for Bart Smith with 11 boards, 6 assists, and a block. 21 for Blake Landry. I mean, you've got some effort out of your guys, but Okogie is apparently just having a bad shooting time and is too passive, so he's not been of any help. Wilbur Nichols has been doing, decently off the bench. Dickie Bender, he's dead. So, just not enough coming up against this Bulls steamroller. The Heat are up 3-1 on the Wizards, 133-108 in Miami. Doing the heavy lifting was Rolo Smoke again, 30 points. He's back to playoff form. 27 for Andrew Loomis. That's solid. 27 off the bench for Batias. He's getting 41 minutes, so that's huge. But yeah, that's strong basketball. 12 points for Leslie Chow. Cole Boyd had 10, and that's fantastic. The Heat are up 3-1. Tommy Lovelady, 28 points, 8 boards, 10 assists, 3 steals. He's doing what he needs to do, but Toby Bowman in 9 minutes had 4 fouls and 7 points. And David Miller in 27 minutes had 4 points. Claude Garza, having to do the heavy lifting off the bench, had 28 points on 11 for 17, shooting with 10 rebounds, but 7 turnovers. He had 15 turnovers between Lovelady and Garza. That's painful. 14 for Pickles with 6 boards, 3 steals, 3 assists. 11 for Stavros, 7 assists. Are the Wizards going to get wiped out in the second round? Wow. Let's find out. Switching home teams. Oh, someone hurt? Someone hurt? No one's hurt. No one's hurt. Just not playing minutes. Yep, I'm falling apart. Here we go. And the Bulls are done with their series. But the teams who were behind in the series, they came back. Timberwolves 118-106. They've taken one back in Minnesota. 31 points, Michael Foster. That's the key to the win right there. 36, though, for Horse Deuce. That's awesome. 36, 6, and 6. Nice game out of him. Finally stepped up. 17 for Jimmy Miller off the bench as well. 10 for Sheldon Day. Ostrich, he had 6 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 block shots. Floby had 8 points, 7 boards. And but it was enough. Your 2 stars, they were doing the heavy lifting. 25 points for Tracy Kaminsky and 18, 11 boards for Touchy Feeney. 18, 10 boards, 4 blocks for Mo Bamba, 17 for Bags, and 14 for Dustin Sepulveda. Nice. He's playing on a team now? Oh, cool. Well, he had 34 minutes, but that's because of foul trouble. So, Wolves take one, making it still behind 3 games to 2. Thunder taking one back in OKC, 128-113. Got That's just weird seeing Ayton not being the leading scorer. 26 points for Kimes this time, including 8 for 12 from 3, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. 25 for Rosie, along with 8 boards, 8 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Did he get it? Yep, he got player of the game. 23 for Ayton, 8 for 17, 14 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks in 36 minutes. So he's playing the minutes. He's just not the point scorer. 15 for Reggie Wilson off of the bench, and L. Rod Hubbard, 18 points. So, nicely done. There's team basketball. I mean, that's usually solid, but it wasn't enough this time. 19 points for Frankie Lennon with 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Very well done there. 17 for Chris Coward, 9 boards. 13 for Bucky to go along with really not anything. Well, he got 3 blocks, 3 steals. I mean, so he's doing that well, but no rebounds, really. 3? Come on. You're better than that. JJ in a quiet night because he was in foul trouble. 22 minutes, had 14 points. 17 for Henchman and 13 for Rob Rod. He's finally doing something. 12 for Roach. And Freddie Moore, he showed. Bulls, they finished off the Pistons. 122-92. Sorry, Yanez. This is what happens. But, again, the Bulls lost a game, so that's... Maybe this is the slide that we've been hoping for. Schwinn Glow, 28.7 boards. 7 boards. My mouth not working. 28 points, 7 boards, 7 assists, 2 steals, a block. 19 for Bursa, go along with 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Not bad out of him. 23 for Chu in 28 minutes of play. Nicely done there. Soft serve off the bench had 15. Thibault had 11. And Blakesley in a quiet game had 10. There's the Pistons. Bart Smith can't do it alone. 22 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 block shots. Kirk Hubbard had foul trouble. He had 6 points in his 21 minutes of play. 14 for Landry and 17 for Wilbur Nichols. Just this Bulls team, you know how they are. I mean, they outscored him by 25 in the fourth quarter, just adding insult to injury because they were already up by 15. That's just rude, really. But whatever. Wizards take one out of DC, 107-101, trying to keep this thing alive. 37 points, Lovelady, he did what he does. 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. Solid line from Toby Bowman. 16 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, 6 steals. 22 for Stavros, go along with 7 boards and 3 block shots. Pickles had 6, 11, 3, and 2. And Garza off the bench in 28 minutes had 12 points. That was enough. Andrew Loomis, there you go. That's what you need from your star. 37 points, 8 boards. Drayson Baker, you need more out of him, but he fouled out, so he can't do any more. 4 points in 27 minutes, 6 boards, 7 assists. He was at least doing that part right. 21 for Rolo Smoke, 9 boards. Garcia fouled out. Nico fouled out. I think what happened there is you ran out of players. That's... Yeah, 3 guys foul out. That's not good. Game 6, changing the home court. Oh, I don't think anybody's hurt, but I'm double check. Bags! Oh no! Bags! He's not carrying the bags now, not with that arm. 58 games. I think that takes him out for the series. Pretty sure that's how the math holds up. Bags! No! Okay, so can the Timberwolves capitalize? Here we go. Oh, man. If the Thunder come back from being down 3-1, So all three series here are going to go to 7 games. Timberwolves 91-90, winning by 1. Oh, yeah, you know we're going to look at that one. I just got Jack's reaction. 24 points from Michael Foster, 10 boards. That's solid. Luba had 5, 13, 4 and a block. 18 for Horace Pucky, decent. 14 for Jimmy Miller off the bench. Dwayne Pauly had 13. Sheldon Day, let's not talk about that. Floby, he had 4 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 block shots. But that was enough. 91 points turned out to be enough to win the game because you've got a very depleted Rockets team right now. Got 27 points for Touchy Feeney. Got 20 points for Tracy Kaminsky, go along with 9 rebounds and 6 assists. Logan Anderson, he only had 8 points. Mo Bamba, he had 12 rebounds and 7 block shots, go along with his 8 points. And so shooting guard, Snyder, he gets to pick up the slack. He was 2 for 13 for 4 points in that 42 minutes of play. Sepulveda had 16 minutes, 15 points. He's not doing too bad off the bench. Let's take a look for that game-winning shot. Maybe. So the Rockets had their chance to score. Sepulveda went for the win. They had 6 seconds left, and Sepulveda shoots a three-pointer from the top of the key. No good. So, looks like Michael Foster got the game-winning shot. So that takes that one to Game 7. Thunder taking it to Game 7 on another close game. 124 to 122. DeAndre Ayton doing what he's supposed to do. 36 points, 15 boards, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. 26 and 12 for Jack Kimes. Solid effort out of him. 16 for Elrod Hubbard. 15 for Matt Roseman. Go along with 8 boards, 9 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, and a partridge in a pear tree. Nice game. 111 shots, though. That's chucking. Damn. Okay, coming down here. JJ. He did what he's supposed to do, 34 points in 38 minutes. 28 for Chris Coward, along with 12 boards, 5 assists, and 2 block shots. 21 for Frankie Len, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal, and 2 block shots. 11 for Ron Roach off the bench. Henchos had 10. Bucky had 10, along with 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 block shots. So close. Let's see how this thing ended. Ayton gets the tip in for the win. Brutal. After Lenz makes a three-pointer, giving the Thunder 12 seconds to do that. So Roseman's shot from the right wing, no good. Ayton tips it in for the win. Damn, that one goes to Game 7. Wizards 131-121. I'll have to look at the play-by-play on this one. 39 for Tommy Lovelady. That's showing up. 9 rebounds and a couple of assists there. 34, Toby Bowman. Finally. Gotten 8 boards, 6 assists, 7 steals. 17 for Stavros at 11 boards, 3 block shots. Pickles had 12 with 5 boards, but 4 block shots. That certainly helped. Miller just kind of plugged the hole in the middle. And, that was that. Now, 26 for Rolo Smoke. He's arrived again, just in time for free agency. 23 points for Trayson Baker, 6 boards, 3 assists. 13 for Cole Boyd off the bench to match Nico, 13 points and 4 fouls. Brendan Garcia in 21 minutes, fouled out, 11 points. Leslie Chow took some minutes, so there was some play there, but 131 points is a lot. 121 isn't quite that much. So let's coach these final games. Again, 3 Game 7s. Killing me. Sim game. It's close. It's very close. Second quarter, basically looked like it was tied up. But this is not a high-scoring affair. Going into halftime, looks like Timberwolves ran off some points. It could have been up about 6-8 points. But Rockets are trying to keep them close. Going into the fourth quarter, Wolves are up by 9. That's just unfortunate about Bagley. You want to have your opponent at full strength. But the Wolves finished it off 100-91. They came back after being down 3-1, weren't they? But you lose Bags. That's an important part of your offense. 191. Big star, Horse Bucky. 31 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Michael Foster chipped in on 7 for 18 shooting. 20 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, a steal, and a block. 19 for Jimmy Miller off the bench. That's what you need out of him. Sheldon Day had 11 points. Ostrich, for playing 48 minutes, he didn't have a whole lot going on. 6 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, and a couple blocks. Floby, he played 33 minutes, only had 4 points and 9 boards. That's not bad, but obviously you know where the ball's flowing to. Those guys right there. A greatly depleted squad did what they could. 26 points for Touchy Feeney. Solid effort, 11 boards, 5 assists. 23 for Tracy Kaminsky, 7 boards, 3 assists, 4 steals. Did what he could. Mo Bamba, 12 points, only 4 boards though, but 6 block shots, so pluses and minuses. 22 for Jeffrey White off the bench, covering for Logan Anderson, who fouled out in 18 minutes. Man, he comes out fist flying like Grady does. But 22 points, that's not bad for Jeffrey. And Sepulveda, 18 minutes, only had 2 points, and Snyder in 42 was 1 for 9, 2 points. Okay, Timberwolves, they moved on. Let's see what happens with this one. Grizzlies jump early. And the Thunder reeling back in. So coming into the first quarter, we are 27-23. Obviously anybody's game at this point, and the Thunder just took the lead to prove that. Ran off a bunch of points, and the Grizzlies decided to quit putting ball in hoop. And now going into halftime, you're 50. Oh, they came back. Wow. Talk about a game of runs. Now it is just damn close. Seesaw for a while. And going into the fourth quarter, it's a 2-point game, 87-85. Thunder up. Is it going to happen? Are the Thunder pulling away? Are the Grizzlies going to be able to reel them back in and take this game? Oh, dear. Doesn't look like it. 117-106. The Thunder come back from being down 3 games to 1. Oh. Change is good. We need this change. And we don't... Okay, well, there you go. It wasn't Ayton this time, though. But he had the boards, 24 points, 19 rebounds, and 4 block shots, 30 points for Jack Kimes leading the Thunder, along with 9 boards and 4 assists. 16 for Elrod Hubbard, and 15 for Matty Rosemond, putting him back at the point guard spot. He is where he belongs. I mean, Maynard's great, but he's not a very efficient shooter. He puts a lot of buckets in, but it's just very inefficient basketball. But it was enough. 38 points for JJ in 44 minutes. He knew where he needed to be. 7 rebounds. 21 for Frankie Lenz, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals. 16 for Bucky with 5 boards and 4 blocks. 14 for Chris Coward, and a quiet night out of him. So, dang it. There we go. Sorry, Adam. Let's do this last game here. Can the Wizards also come back from 3 games to 1? And so far, the way the game's starting, that's not how you do it. Somebody kicking into gear over there. There we go. Getting better. So, in the first quarter, 30-28. Still close. Still real close. However, the Heat are putting some points up. So, about a 10-point difference there. Are the Heat going to knock the Wizards off? Starting to look like it. But the Wizards are starting to reel them in a little bit. Yeah, they sure as heck did. Look at that. Tie score. Tie score going into the fourth. Heat stopped playing basketball. And the Wizards are up. They're up by 6. And, now the Heat tried to bring it back in, but look at that. Close. So Bowman fouls out of the game at the very end of the game. So Nico had a chance to, So Nico went for the shot and got the foul, didn't make the shot, missed a free throw and made the second one. So that's a tough way to get a 3-point basket, and it didn't work. So the Wizards, 110-108 over the Heat. 34 points for Tommy Lovelady. We thought Bowman showed up, but that was just a turn and burn, as the truck drivers call it. 12 points, 6 boards, 14 for Omar Jones off the bench. Miroslav had 11, 14 for Stavros, and David Miller plugging a hole, but 0 for 6 from the field. So that's and 0 for 2 from the field. So he was really efficient at his suctitude. 11 for Pickles and 8 rebounds and a block. Nico did what he could. He did decently. 23 points, 11 boards, and a block. 23 also for Rolo Smoke. Solid game. 21 points for Andrew Loomis. And Drayson Baker, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. That's, this is a solid box score. This time it took Brenton Garcia only 29 minutes to foul out, so that's a positive. But, yeah, it just was not enough. Batias did not do much from the bench. And Cole Boyd, he did okay. Chow, nothing. Marshall, So maybe it was just lack of bench help. So, here we are. Let's show, we have Thunder and Wolves, Wizards and Bulls. Will we have a different finals tomorrow night? That'd be nice, please, because it's really getting old. So, congratulations to the winners. So sorry for the losers, and talk to you tomorrow.